Hello, class, and welcome to week one in our course, Diversity in Counseling. I very much enjoy teaching this course because it challenges us as counselors in training to really get in touch with those parts of ourselves that may prevent us from being objective listeners to our clients when we're sitting in their world. Now, that may or may not evoke a reaction out of your response out of you for me to sit here and say you're going to have a reaction to a client. And whether it's intentional or unintentional, it's best while you're at university, while you're in school, to really explore those things that rub up against some of your values, rub up against some of your perceptions about the world. How I like to describe it is, I had a bias when I was an intern about depression because when I was in college, I got homesick. And so I felt like, most people when they go to college, they get homesick. Fast forward when I'm in an internship setting and I'm working with college students, and I had a client who initially I thought was simply homesick. And the more he was telling me about his symptoms, the more he was telling me about his experience, all I was hearing, all I was filtering in my head was homesickness. And it wasn't until I was really in supervision and we got underneath some of my own resistance to accepting, hey, this client is beyond homesick. This individual is experiencing something that is really preventing him from being the person he would like to be, i.e., some clinical depression. And so it was helpful for me, and it's always helpful for me to share my experiences with you all, but it was helpful for me to have that experience because in no way was I a bad person. In no way was, I sexist or racist or any of these other things. I just had a bias. I had a blinder in front of my eyes that prevented me from seeing the client. Now, that's a mild example when we think about some of the larger sort of systemic issues like racism, sexism, homophobia, et cetera, that kind of exist in larger society. And so that is the purpose of this class. As counselors, individuals will be sitting across from us. They will be sharing parts of themselves with us, and it is our job to really objectively listen to this and provide sort of a clear, reflective response to the client. If we are in tune with ourselves, if we are aware of some of our values, it can help us to be the counselor that our clients need. So I've often had students ask me, why do we have to take this course? And that is the response. As a counselor, you never know what's going to be sitting across from you, and you need to be practiced and prepared and ready so that you don't stand in the way of being able to help out your client. So that's my short answer in week one for that. This week you have a number of readings to do. You're reading chapters 1 and 6 in your textbook. You have some TED Talks to watch. You even have a blog from one of our own professors, Dr. Stacy Reihisser. And the first week of this course really delves into your otherness, and that's what I really like about the way this course is designed. Before we begin to think about other cultures and other experiences, we're first going to look within ourselves. We're going to have empathy for ourselves because when we can get in touch with those parts of ourselves that we felt were unlovable, that we felt were discarded by other people, it can give empathy to individuals who sit across from us who might share those same experiences or might not even, my client might not have had my otherness experiences, but because I am in touch with my otherness, I have empathy for my client who is unable to feel loved or accepted, etc., because of their experiences of otherness. So that is what week one will focus on, your otherness. You will have a case study that you will be analyzing and responding to. And I like this class too in that it focuses on case analyses. And so you're going to be reading this case and sort of bringing out some of the clinically significant information in terms of how you're conceptualizing this client from a cultural point of view. So that's a broad overview of week one. The last thing I'm going to say is that if you turn on the news today, if you listen to any of the political rhetoric, you realize the necessity of this course. As counselors, we're not value free individuals. We all have grown up in a culture, we all have grown up in families that really shape who we are as individuals. And at the same time, again, our profession calls us to be objective. Our profession calls us, when we sit across from another individual, to not impose our values on that person. And at the same time, it's good to be aware of what's going on in the world, and it's good to be aware of what gets underneath your skin. So that is the purpose of this class. We need to know what pushes your buttons so that you are, again, objective and clear when you're working with a client out in the field. I would not want to, if I got sick and I had to have a medical procedure, I certainly would not want to have a surgeon or a doctor who it was their first time performing that operation. You know, I would want a doctor who was properly trained in their program to be able to deal with my condition. And I'm not saying clients have conditions. I'm just saying that it's helpful for you as someone in training to really get in touch with and understand the content and the materials of this course so that when you're sitting across from someone, you're not just blanket ignoring what they're saying because it rubs up against a value system that you may have. So, those are our announcements. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'm very much looking forward to working with each of you this week. Also, related to you exploring your otherness, I have attached a worksheet that Dr. Stacy Reichesser has created called The Hero's Journey. So it kind of helps you get in touch with those otherness experiences. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out, call, email, text. I'm available. So, yeah, let's get to it. Here's to having a great course. If you have any questions or concerns, please, I'm free and available. Again, a lot of times students question why we have to take this course, and I hope that my response helps you to understand why we have to take it. And one more thing I want to say, this is a course where if you wanted to, you could sort of BS your way through, um, and yet you would not learn anything. There's great readings in this course. There are great, phenomenal TED Talks in this course. And so I challenge you to really, really read the material, absorb the material. If you have a response, if you're reading something and you find yourself sort of reacting, pay attention to that. Lean into that. Just like we said when you all went to your residency, when we said lean into the discomfort, lean into whatever emotions or things might come up for you because it's telling you something, it's teaching you a lesson. Thanks very much.